What's up, sports fans? Since we're approaching the end of the season here, I figured now is a good time to give a nice little rant on my so-called favorite team in the NFL. Yeah, I have some stuff I'm upset about from the 2019-2020 season. Obviously, we're not even going to be in 2020, so what the fuck does that matter, right? I mean, at least not the playoff part. Anyways, I've written some stuff down, that's kind of made me aggravated. I've also written stuff down that I think we can improve upon, and then I have stuff that we just simply need to do. Alright, anyways, let's get into the video, guys. So the first thing I wrote is we need to build a real O-line. Now, let me start off by saying there's a few decent pieces on the O-line right now. We've got Joel Bitonio, we've got J.C. Treader. I think they're both decent pieces that we could move forward with. But Austin Corbett and Greg Robinson, that's not going to cut it on the O-line. I mean, they cannot block for Baker. They cannot, their pass blocking is so utterly bad. It's killing me. That's why I can't believe Greg Robinson is still even playing at left tackle. They need to move him to right tackle, because he is really big. If you see the guy, he's ginormous. I was at Browns training camp this summer, and this guy is humongous, even compared to the rest of the O-linemen. So I get why teams look to him. I can understand why he was maybe the second overall pick. I guess I can kind of fathom it, but he's horrible at left tackle. He cannot block the pass. So we need to throw him at right tackle so he's away from Baker's blind side. That's the first thing I have to say, and that's the first thing we need to do. Also, and this is the most important part, we need to draft or sign an O-lineman. I have no issue, and we'll get to this later in the video, I have no issue trading for a proper left tackle. And we'll get to who we can dish out later in the video. Let's get to the next point. At number 2, I got build around Nick Chubb. This kind of goes back to making a better O-line, because that's the first thing you got to do, right? Although I think the run blocking on our O-line is solid. It could get better, don't get me wrong, but I think it's solid. But we need to build around this guy. He is about to enter his prime. He's a monster. We need to build around him. We can't be a pass-happy offense. I don't care that we spent the first overall pick on Baker. He'll be fine doing game management stuff. And don't get me wrong, as he grows too, he'll still have his moments of glory. But we need to build around Nick Chubb. And if we could re-sign Kareem Hunt, that would be awesome as well. But we need to build around the run. This is good old Cleveland sports football. Back from the 80s, the 70s, the 60s. Marion Motley, Jim Brown. I'm missing some names here. I'm sorry, brain freezing me. But the point is, we have not won a championship since 1964! 1964! I can't deal with this anymore, man. Like, we need to fucking at least make it to the playoffs, bro. And I'm gonna give you some other changes we need to make coming up next. Bro, I'm pissed off, man. I'm not even gonna lie. Shit be pissing me off, man. I just had to take a little break from the video. Shit be pissing me off. You know. Alright, I apologize about that. I just got in my feels about the Browns. Anyways, let's move on to number 3. Yup, I know this is going to stir some controversy right here, but I think it's something we need to do. I'm starting to think this guy might be locker room cancer. And not to the point of an Antonio Brown, of course. I mean, that guy's insane. But I'm looking at this guy, and not only do I think he's he can be a locker room cancer because I think he's instigating a lot of this shit. A lot of the stuff that Jarvis apparently said, I think is coming from Odell. It's radiating from him. I just think he's dividing the locker room. And not only that, but I don't think we need him. As long as we keep Jarvis, maybe sign or draft another solid receiver. We've got Njoku coming back. We build around Nick Chubb and hopefully Kareem Hunt. I don't think we need Odell. So you want to know what I'm going to say? I'm going to go back to build a real O-line. I say we trade Odell Beckham Jr. and we go get the guy from, God, I'm forgetting his name now. The left tackle from the Redskins, who's been up in the air. He hasn't played all year. Give me a second. I got to figure out his name. Alright, I'm sorry about that. It's Trent Williams. How did that elude my mind? I've been saying let's trade for him all year because we need him. But yeah, he said he will never play another down of Redskins football. That's what Trent Williams said. So we need to trade Odell Beckham Jr. and go get Trent Williams. You're telling me that the Redskins couldn't use Odell? Give me a break. And then whatever we get back as well, I'm fine with too. I mean, but trade Odell is my point, man. Maybe bring, just trade Odell. Get Trent Williams. Build around Nick Chubb. Let's get into the next point. My last point is to fire Freddie Kitchens, but only if a better option presents itself. Now, I think we've already had that better option present itself. This was before Freddie Kitchens was hired. I think we should have hired Bruce Arians. Look at what he's doing with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I know that their record isn't great, but I mean, their team, the talent on that roster isn't great either. He's, like, what he's doing in the passing game and even the running game to a point. I'm looking at what he's doing. He would have changed this offense. Maybe we could have gone past that, but we didn't get him. So we can't be pass happy anymore. There's, now, going to the point of if there's any better options that present themselves. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they should keep Freddie Kitchens probably. I don't think a better option is going to present itself. There's Ron Rivera out there, but the thing is, he doesn't fit the team we're trying to build, right? I mean, you can try to tell me Urban Meyer. I've heard talks about that. I don't see how that's going to happen, though. I really genuinely don't know what they're going to do at head coach. I would maybe... I would say don't bail on Freddie yet. That's probably what I would come down to, because I don't think that there's going to be a better option that presents itself. Don't get me wrong. If something presents itself, I will come on the air and say, go get that guy right now. But I don't think it's going to happen like it did last year. I don't think that'll happen. But I guess we're going to have to stick with Freddie for another year. We'll see what he's got. But I got some stats here just to pour down on the pain, right? So we finished 23rd in passing yards. But we've got Jarvis Landry and Odell Beckham Jr. with Baker Mayfield throwing them the football. I don't give a fuck when anyone says Baker Mayfield is an accurate quarterback. Get the fuck out of here if you say he isn't. He's an accurate quarterback. I mean, that's bullshit if you're saying he isn't. He can throw the deep ball too. We saw it against the Panthers last year. He can throw the deep ball. This comes down for me to two things. Coaching. Why aren't you getting Odell Beckham Jr. open more? Why aren't you running fade routes to him more? I mean, we just like that's kind of killing me. But clearly Freddie Kitchens knows how to run the football, I guess. So just stick with that. And the other thing that this 23rd in passing yards comes down to is the shitty O-line. They can't block for shit. So Baker Mayfield is running out. I mean, listen, I watch every single Browns game, pretty much. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen Baker Mayfield roll out right because he's got 1,000 freaks of nature defensive ends coming at him from the left tackle position. Because Greg Robinson can't block shit in the pass game. He can't block shit in the pass game. I'm dead ass, man. He's the slowest O-lineman I've ever seen. He has no mobility. Alright, let's not go down the Greg Robinson path. Anyways, we finished 11th in rushing yards, right? 11th in rushing yards. even with a mediocre O-line and a pass game that wasn't doing what it should. Keep feeding Nick Chubb, and if you can re-sign Kareem Hunt, that would be awesome as well, because then we can have a dual threat backfield, almost like what the Saints have done. Nick Chubb's the Kareem Hunt would be the receiving back. Nick Chubb turns into that Mark Ingram kind of a guy, except he's better, right? Now, these are the stats that are really going to piss me off. 29th in penalties. What does that come down to? Two things again. Who could possibly be getting all these penalties? Probably the O-line when they do some bullshit like this. And then what else? What else? I'm looking at the organization as a whole. The GM, the head coach. How are you letting us be the third worst team in penalties in the NFL? Fourth, actually. I'm not okay with that. That's not okay. We have enough working against us to begin with. We can't be getting all these penalties. And here's the thing. It's not so easy to just say that in a meeting. Freddie Kitchens can't just be like, guys, we got to tone the penalties down. All right, let's go out there and do our thing. No! That's not how it works, Freddie. You have to drill it through their minds. If you get a fucking penalty, you're running for shit. That's what it comes down to. 25th in turnovers. I'm looking at the O-line, and I'm looking at Freddie Kitchens not creating enough opportunities. Now, there's a third piece to this. Baker Mayfield didn't have his best season. But the thing is, Baker Mayfield had a lot going against him this season. I'm going to give him the credit, the benefit of the doubt, and I want to see what he does next year. But Baker Mayfield, I'm not going hard on Baker Mayfield yet. To be honest, I'm not going hard on him yet. I want to see what he does in the years to come. Then I'll give you a real diagnosis of what I think. The last stat I've got is probably the most frustrating. And trust me, this statistic was 10 times worse in the first half of the season. Trust me. Our red zone efficiency percentage was 58.33%. That is down from 66.67% last year when we had a worse team. Makes no sense, right? And the only reason that it's even at 58%, and this is touchdowns only, just to let everyone know, it doesn't have to do with field goals. The only reason it's at 58% is because of how easy our schedule got second half of the season. I bet that was more like 54% before that. Maybe even 52, which is pathetic. Pathetic. For the roster we have. It's pathetic. This was my Browns rant, guys. I had to come in and say what I had to say. I felt the need to do it. It's week 17. We're not in the playoffs again. You have to understand, I was born in 2001. I'm 18 years old. I've never, as a fan who watches them, I've never witnessed the Browns go to the playoffs. I've never even witnessed it. Right? Like, the Bengals' issue is they go to the playoffs, but they never win. I've never even witnessed a playoff game for my team. Alright? Anyways, that's how I'm going to end the video. Thank you guys for watching. Good news. Good news for a change here. I'm actually getting my editing software today. Later today, I will be getting my editing software. I'm not getting my laptop back yet. It's still in the works. It has to be fixed and everything. But I just figured, fuck it. I'm going to go get this editing software to start getting the editing done correctly. So, that's some good news in a bad video, right? Anyways, I'll see you guys. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. If you're new, subscribe. And if you watch a lot of my videos, possibly think about turning on the notification bell, because then you'll be notified on your phone or whatever it may be every time I upload. Anyways, I thank you guys for watching again, and I'll see you next time.